get started? So, Sonia, tell me a little bit about your background. Where you grew up, siblings, some interesting facts about your childhood.
I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and when I was young, my dad brought us up to the suburbs of Maryland. And growing up there with a brother and a sister, it wasn't too bad starting off, but then the 80s kind of took over. And that means a lot of drugs moved in the area, and people started stealing cars and breaking into your house. And the war that was on the streets moved in to our house. And it affected my brother, who had several bouts with and luckily we did.
That's wonderful. But as a young person, who would you say was one of your mentors or major influences?
Well, because we grew up in Maryland, we left behind all of our family. So I didn't really grow up with aunts and uncles and cousins and grandparents like, a lot of people grow up with. I didn't have the village to help to raise me. And I didn't necessarily have the best relationship with my mother. So I got I let television embrace me as a way to learn about how the family structure is supposed to work, the family dynamic. So I was definitely influenced by Claire and Heathcliff Huxtable. I remember growing up wanting to be Lisa Bonet. I remember watching Good Times and Family Ties and letting that influence me. It helped me to learn what a woman was supposed to act like, the role a woman was supposed to play. And like I said, I just wanted to be in that television as a part of their family structure.
And things are certainly quite different now.
Yeah, a lot different.
Quite different.
Yes,
So
it's not the same.
While you had the advantage of those positive role models like Claire Huxtable and I can't remember Mom's name on Family Ties, but I remember Family Ties. Can you think off the top of your head one television show now that you would say compares or relative to setting a good standard for what it is to be a young black girl, a family, community? Is there any show now?
No, and it's unfortunate that there is no show now that comes to mind that a little girl can relate to in terms of trying to be a positive woman. We have so much reality TV now, and it perpetuates girl on girl battles and fighting over men and disrespecting of oneself. And it's really sad, I think, to watch that things that are playing out in reality TV are actually creating and perpetuating these bad situations in our schools and low self-esteem among our teenage girls.
I agree. That's actually what started all of this. I had a young, my mentee shared with me her feelings about not feeling good about anything, any woman that she sees on television that looks like her. But we talked about those awkward teen moments, and I had my awkward tall moment and my awkward big head moment. What were some of those awkward moments for you as a young girl, and how did you overcome them?
I remember being in middle school and kids being so cruel because you are different because I was tall, because I was...
One second. Hey,
Don,
keys.
the vibrator is
Oh, good,
here.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
No, okay. You want me to start over?
Stop where you
Yes.
at. Where you at is fine. We're gonna have it. It's gonna-
Okay. I remember being a very awkward... You want to... We'll wait for you to go sit. Okay, take 3.
Take 3, yes.
Okay, I remember being in middle school as a very awkward teenager, and kids can be cruel. I don't even think they realize that they're being cruel. They're thinking that they're just making fun of someone, or they're just playing around, but they don't realize that they're really affecting someone's life. I was extremely tall. I was gangly. I had a big forehead. They used to call me High Pockets because my legs grew first. And I remember those things today, and feeling awkward and feeling that I couldn't fit in. I wanted to be the popular girl and wasn't. And it wasn't until I woke up one day and just didn't care about how large my forehead was. They used to say, your forehead is so big, it's an 8 head. So that's where I came from. Well, obviously today I don't care much about what people say or what they think. It's all about what I care about and what I think about myself. And it took me some time, but I love myself. And that love of self, no one can put in you. You have to put it in yourself.
And where would you say, reflecting back on the 13-year-old Sonia, based on what you know now, if you were to write a letter to yourself, well, write a letter to another 13-year-old. You talk about finding that self-love. Do you remember where it started, how it started, or if not, as it relates to you, what would you suggest to a young girl with regard to finding that self-love?
Sometimes it's the people closest to you that end up hurting you the worst. And although sometimes they may not mean it, they feel that because they can't do something, you can't do something. And there were so many things in life that I wanted to do. There were so many things in life I wanted to be. I remember watching Cheers a long time ago. It's one of my favorite shows as well. And just the fact that everyone, when you walked in Cheers, everyone knew your name. And I remember then that thinking, I want to go where everyone knows my name. How do I get there? And I started to look for role models. I started to look for people like Beverly Johnson, and there was Oprah, and there were people that I looked at and wanted to be like. I love the fact that people like Oprah were very entrepreneurial and smart, and they didn't say no to themselves. So I was very, very much determined to find that within myself and do whatever it took to change the things I didn't like and make the things that I did like about myself bigger and better. And I'm still a work in progress, but I don't say no to myself. I just figure out a way to make it all happen.
And I think sometimes our young girls look to us to have all the answers, and just as we probably look to our elders in some way to guide us and have some solutions. But you are a work in progress. We all are. Are there any of your fears that you'd be willing to share? Whether it's fears from your childhood or fears you had as a grown woman?
Everything scares me. Everything scares me. Fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of even succeeding, because that's a whole nother set of things comes with you actually succeeding. But I just wanted to make sure that the fear didn't paralyze me. And I work through them no matter what. I want to make sure that my kids grow up not letting fear stop them. And I have to be that example for them, to make sure that they don't let things get in their way in life.